G'day legends, Atron here and welcome to the Archdemon chat. So this is the first Archdemon we have had on Android since the update. So as you can see, for those who don't know, ×3 ×2 next to all of these demons is essentially how many times you've killed it. So each 1 or 2 is worth 2 billion. So Russian Spy, for example, has got 6 billion plus this score. That's how the numbers work. I'm sure you've all figured that out, but in case you didn't know, that's how we start off. So now you might see a massive discrepancy in all of these scores. So Russian Spy is a mere good old guy. He brought to a few of our attention that in the Russian server, they've changed They've changed this. So while this still says that he is immune to scatter, he is not. So that's how all of these scores are happening. Scatter. He can now be scattered again, so it becomes a DPS race to how can you hold down the demon from proccing. So these scores that you're seeing here of, you know, what's this, 5.5 billion, 6 billion, stuff like that, it's because the demon's not proccing. Everyone's running at these top tier scores, 8 regen PD with 7 or 6 or 5 empower crest. So I'll just run you through like my team. I don't have a lava, so like that's why my score won't be as high, and I'll go through that really quickly. But this is essentially what the teams look like. In this case, that was for Deflect Archdemon. Looks like if all Deflect Archdemons can be scattered, Life Drain won't be necessary. So unless IGG wants to pull the pin and changes it, we'll see what happens. So that's ideally going to be 8 Heavy Blow for Siren, and then we'll go in through. So Dove Keeper, I've got one that's 8 of 8 slowdown. 8 of 8 slowdown will be the best talent for top tier stuff, so long as you can keep the demon scattered. Tricksy Treat is being used in here. A couple of guys are saying use this or use a 8 scatter main, because you don't need a lot of scatter. You just need some to keep the demon down. The exact principles behind the scatter is a little more in depth, so I'll get to that, but I'll just run through the heroes what I used. I didn't use Tricksy Treat, I think I used, but that's what the Pumpkin Dukes look like. So something like that is your most ideal Pumpkin Duke. 7 of 7 in power is going to be better. 5 and 6 are exactly the same, so don't stress too much about that. Gunslinger is definitely optimal, definitely the best person to have on your team because of her copters with this whole scatter thing, so she's super effective there. Whether or not having more slowdown mains, 8 of 8 slowdown is going to affect, but in place of so the top team at the moment is Siren, Lava, Pumpkin Duke, and Beast Tamer. Those 4 right there are your key, because they are what increases your damage. So you've got PD with 8 regen, right? We'll jump on him, and this is how the whole calculations worked out and why those first 4 heroes are so important. You've got Pumpkin Duke, so the damage cap is he gets to 10 times with 8 regen. So 10 times or is it 80 times? I think it's 80 times the cap, or it's 10 stacks, sorry. 10 stacks, which works out to be 80 times the cap. So that's 8 times the damage, because you got to take into account the demon's damage reduction. So we've been through this before, and then you add on Siren, you add on Lava, you add on Beast Tamer, you add on Chickaboom, and you can also add on Cursed Battlefield. Like they're all post damage cap multipliers. So you've got your damage cap, and then you can get past that. So what that means is if you're looking at Pumpkin Duke here, his base damage is, say, 18,000. His damage cap is going to be 8 times that amount. So your post damage cap multiplier is 8 times his base, and then you've also got, then you add on Lava, that 50%, you add on BT, add on Siren, and that's how you increase it past that amount. So when you've got that kind of team set up, you're looking at having your auto attacks go for 500k. So they're going to be at the peak already. So that's why those top teams, all of their heroes are doing so much damage. So that's the whole trick behind it. Scatter's, you know, the best thing. I'm not going to show you a run in this. I don't think I need to. They're all going to be the same. But the other major thing that you will have to take into account is having a Pursalot. So what Pursalot does, and why lava is so important within that whole setup, is it reduces the, not the energy gain, or it reduces the energy gain. So when everyone's hitting him at max speed, and so many things are hitting him, especially if you're bringing slowdown crests or talents, all that jazz, a lot of stuff's hitting him. So doing that really helps, and lining Pursalot cooldown up with the lava cooldown is going to be the key. To figuring out how much scatter, or it's going to mean that you need less scatter, if that makes sense. So that's why Gunslinger is definitely there, because of her copters and the scatter that she provides. And then, so for teams that don't have lava, so this is great for free to play that don't have lava. This is why I did this before. Great options. I know people are getting like 3.8 billion. You know, they're destroying the demon. They're not letting proc. Phantom King is being used, so that's a good option. But I ran a team, I think, where was it? I've got access to an account here, and it was now, so this one here, Choke Me Daddy 16, so did 2.5 billion, or 4.5 billion, let's just say, for easy sakes. And that's pretty much all the heroes had scatter crests, but they had lava in there, so they were doing a very high base damage multiplier. So they were mostly hitting for 500k. Asides the summons, all the heroes were pretty much hitting for 500k a pop. So that's how you get there. You know, you've got Russian Spy, who's probably figured out just the optimization stuff. As these scores get higher, you know, you can kill the demon a couple of times. As they get higher, all they're optimizing is well, you don't really need to optimize traits when you get up to the top tier, but for everyone who doesn't have lava, you know, it'd be getting your base attack. Oh, I'm not sure if it's even worth mentioning. Getting your base attack, which is, you know, we go to, say, Pumpkin Juke, for example, and you've got even 18,000. What you want to happen is when you add in all those multipliers, that 18,000 is actually going to turn into 500,000. And when that happens, if that's only relying on the stat boost you get from, you know, Beast Tamer, Siren, and Lava, and then Chickaboom, and your auto attacks are hitting 500,000, your traits become irrelevant. Everything else, artifacts also become irrelevant, asides in that ramp up speed. So that is the major thing that you got to take into account. The option a lot of people are running because they don't have scatter, or enough scatter. I know the theory around, if you don't have a lava, your best team is going to be using Dovekeeper in the place of lava, and using Heartbreaker. So what have I got my Heartbreaker on ready for this? No, where is she? Ready for this next one. I'll be using Scatter Crests. I might put an 8 Scatter main on her. Reason being 8 sharp in there. When you get all those damage multipliers, her crit rate will essentially just mean she's going to be critting for 500k per pop on her auto attack, on her proc as well. So a little bit of optimization, but she will definitely help because of her skill using reducing energy. That's going to be super effective. So if you don't have lava, my advice is to use this team. So you would use Siren, Dovekeeper, Beast Tamer, Pumpkin Duke, Gunslinger, and Heartbreaker. If you can put enough scatter on your heroes, you know, you can mess around with whatever team is going to fit for you. But that if you've got full damage and all the best teams, that's what I think will be best without lava. With lava, you're going to drop Heartbreaker, and you're going to be using you're going to drop Heartbreaker, and you're also going to drop Dovekeeper. You put lava in for Dovekeeper, and you might use, you know, Trixie Treat / Dovekeeper with that first 4 that I was talking about. But that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to, I know the demon will reset soon. What have we got? I think there's only a little bit of time on the reset, so there won't be heaps. We've got 8 hours. What's the time now? It's 11 o'clock for me, which means, oh no, you still have a few hours after reset. It won't be super critical. So get in there, figure out your best scatter teams. Don't forget to bring Pursalot. That's going to help you. And that's pretty much it from me, guys. That's all I wanted to tell you. There's probably another chat I can do with optimizing stuff, but I didn't want to go into that. I don't really need to. I'll write up a review, and I'm sure it can be posted to Reddit or something like that, or just do another quick video on the advanced mechanics. But once you get to the top, it's not that advanced. The blueprint's been set. All you got to fill in. You know, if you had a dream team, you would all be running 8 slowdown mains, 7 heavy blow crests, and you know your Pumpkin Duke would still have the Empower, but aside Siren, who would have 8 heavy blow, and then you would just work out where the best scatter is. So how much scatter you need to make the demon not proc. Obviously, as you bring more scatter, more slowdown mains, and more summons, you're going to need more scatter. So you know that's the blueprint of like a god tier. The best possible score you can get is everyone running that. All your auto attacks are going to be 500k, and then that's pretty much it. So I might do a write-up. It might be a little bit easy to view it as such, but have a look at that, guys. Just go through the heroes one more time. That's what I was using for my current score, which is like 70 or something. Didn't use Trixie Treat though, and happy days. So any questions, hit me up online. There's a few chats that are already aware of this. There's a bunch of guys that are aware of this, so if you know any of them, reach out to them for better explanation and stuff like that. Otherwise, hit me up in the comments and I'll reply as best I can. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you in the next vid. Enjoy.